Hi, good evening everyone. I have Lorraine here and she is getting a new full set of extensions. So far I have just prepped her nails, applied regular primer, no lift primer, as well as a fix-it. Let that sit for a second, and right now I am applying a layer of OptiBond. And what I'm going to show you guys is she has decided she's going to do a fun under layer for the holidays. So what I'm going to do is do a very thin layer of natural pink first. So this is my builder product that I'm going to use for her full set, and I'm basically just going to be building out her extension, and so I don't want it to really be much thicker than her natural nail, and I'm just going to blend it into the nail that she has. So I'm going to pull this out to about the length that it will probably go. She likes them really, really long. I have rules. I don't let her go as long as she probably would let them be right off the bat. Otherwise we get broken nails. I mean, right? I'm not too bad. That's good. Alright, so we're just going to apply this as her extension layer. And then after that we are going to use the new Gold 24K. And we are going to apply that onto her clear layer here, and then we'll continue to build over the top of it. So most of her design is going to be built on a completed nail, but the under layer that she'll have week in, week out will be on this extension layer. So it's actually going to be built into her nail. So I just want to make sure that this is thin because I don't want to file it off when I am applying it. Sorry, Jessica's got a client here, so it's going to be a little bit louder than usual. So building this out so that we can apply a gold, which will be really pretty. So tonight she's going to do a red design with stamping similar to the Merlot one that I posted the other night, or last night. That's going to be a red version with red on red, and unless she changes her mind between now and the time we actually do the design, which is a very real possibility because this is a real client and they like to change their minds a lot. Right, Lorraine? Mm-hmm. Alright, so building this extension out. Now I build mine with clear, build it, file it, all in clear, because when she comes back I just want to be able to remove it. So I know some techs will build all of their gel design in their nail. I might do that on myself, but in the real world you're going to have to remove all of their old designs. So do you really want to remove all of their nail, or do you want to just remove their design? That's why I built the design on top of a clear nail. That's built up, and that allows also a lot of the strength ends up being in the color, and so you're able to build a little bit thinner of a nail than you might without gel color. Of course 100% gel color, I'm not talking about like a gel polish. Gel color that's 100% like Luxio Options has some strength to it, so you can build your extension actually slightly thinner than you might if you were just going to cover it with a regular polish or something like that, because you get a little bit of strength in there. Alright, go ahead and put this in. I'm going to freeze it on and off for you a few times. I'm going to apply the next layer of extension. I'm going to pull it down. Freezer's on, off. And the reason I'm turning that on and off is exothermic reaction. I don't want it to get hot. Even though there's not much gel on her actual nail, that will allow it to slowly start to cure. Looks like I have some fun clients in the room today. I always like it when my clients watch videos and then come in and go, so I saw that one that you did and I want that. It's been fun. Lorraine, have you been peeking on my videos?
Yeah.
It's fun. It's how you know they love their nails, is when they can't get enough, that they're always watching videos of them. freeze this. So you can use a ton of different builders for this. So if you are using the LED line, the performance line, I would do this layer with balance. It's a little bit thicker than enhance. Enhance would be kind of a pain in the butt to do this with because it would start running all over the place. So I would definitely be using balance or structure. I really like to build with structure. It's quite a bit thicker of a gel. One of these days I'll do a full set and use structure so you guys can see it. But it's definitely quite a bit thicker. Doesn't self-level at all. So if you are used to a completely non-self-leveling gel, that would work for you. I'm just going to let that cure, finish curing. But you can, I mean, this is really just getting it on there and moving on. But if you're using a very runny gel, then you're going to be chasing your gel around. So I like using natural because it stays pretty much where I put it, with slightly some self-leveling. Going all the way up here because she's missing nail up there, and I want to make sure that when I go to file it, I'm not missing the nail that's missing up here, because then you end up having to add more later. So I'd rather get it up there and file it into shape. Okay, pull this down. Trying to just make sure I have it enough to the length that I want again so I don't have to add more later. Okay, go ahead on in. Okay, so putting the natural away for a moment. So this is what I'm here to show you guys. So what you would do is now, before you build out your structure and your arch, grab what you want to use for your undercoat. So whether it's red for the Louis Vuitton look, Aubrey, no, I don't have a buddy for answering questions. So if I happen to see yours at the very top where it is now, I can answer a question, but otherwise I might miss it. Sorry. But I can answer questions in the feed later. So if you do have a question, type it out and I will go on there later and answer. Okay, so this is the new Gold Leaf 24K. So we're going to use that as her under layer. So we're just going to go on here and brush it down over the surface. And this is a nice thin application, and that's going to allow her, when she turns her nails over, she's got the red on the front and she'll have the gold on the back. So this is going to be a really fun look for all of the holidays. Give her a little bit more pizzazz. It goes on really, really easily. Oh, gotta freeze that. The brush is 106. Surprise. I will be, oh, was I using my oval for application? No, I think I was using my 106. When I finish her application, I'm actually going to be using the 108, which is an oval brush. When I'm moving around the gel to build an arch and stuff, I do find that the oval is a little bit easier to move around. So I will be using a different brush than my standard 106, and I will be switching over to the oval brush when I finish her structure. Did you guys want me to stay on for finishing her entire application or just for this? I was just going to stay on for this. I didn't want to keep you guys all night. You good? Okay. Just making sure it's good. Okay, I do have a buddy now. Jessica's watching. Or Jessica's client. Somebody's watching and they're relaying questions to me, so. They're both watching. So if you guys have a question, feel free. Did anyone say they wanted me to stay on for continuing application, or this is all they needed to see? Do it all, please. Do it all. And then someone else said I'll stay and watch. All right, okay, so we're gonna keep going. So this is her underlayer, so we're gonna go ahead and cure that. Switch, please. You don't need to freeze that because it's not hot, so it's not a builder layer. All right, I'm gonna keep on going. Yeah, this is just an under layer. This is only going to be seen on the underside of her nail. So when we finish her nails, they're going to be red on top. And so this one is a little bit thick. I don't think I'll file through it. We shall see. Looks like I built, there's a little bit too much gel on this side. We're going to go with it and see what happens. But my goal is to try to make it this first layer really thin so that it's really just pulling out from her natural nail. Again, see right here, it's a little bit thick. This time I'm not going to let that stay. I'm going to actually file that down a little bit because I don't want to, when I go to finish file, I'm concerned that I'm going to file right through the gold with too much gel there. Alright, that's gone now. Just don't want that bump there because it's going to mess up the look that I'm going for. It's just because I took a little while, I let a lot of time sit to cure this, and so that's why I got a little bump there. Rose gold foil is so pretty. All right, this is why my jars get messy. I don't always wipe them off. Okay, so I'm going to switch brushes to the 108. I'm going to build her arch in here. So I'm going to grab a good sized ball, come up here and build an arch and then pull it down over her tip. So you can fight with the gel and try to build the entire nail at once, but I'm trying to build a good nail at the same time getting her out in a relatively good amount of time. And in order to do that, it's way faster for me for this length of nail to build and file. Mess with the, I meant to start that up there. Let's try that again. Arch. So my goal is to build and then file. I could fight with it for a long time, but it's much faster for me to just file this into shape than it is to not. So if you look at it from the side here, that's what I'm going for, is a bit of an arch there. You guys see that? So I'm trying to get my arch in the nail, and then I'm going to fill in around the cuticle. So first arch, second arch and tip, and then cuticle area. It's just faster because if you apply all of your product all around the cuticle at once, it's going to continue to want to self-level there, and you're going to lose your arch. That whole nail bed area is just going to flatten out because it's going to self-level and it's just going to be gone. So by doing this little bit of a triangle technique that I've been teaching for, I don't know, 14 years, those of you who have taken my class a million years ago always remember the triangle technique. It keeps your arch there so it doesn't flatten. So you guys see that? You have an arch there. If you fill in these corners with wet gel, it's just going to totally flatten out. You're going to lose your arch and you're going to have to mess with it after this. So by doing that, you keep the center ball right here. You keep that where your highest point of your arch should be, and it stays put. It doesn't flatten out. Okay, when you're building a full set, if you want nice strong nails, you need a good arch. No extensions. Okay, do you see that? So see there's a little bit right here that's sunk in. So I'm just going to grab a little bit of extra gel and fill that in. I'd rather have a lot of gel to file now on there than have to go back and add more later. So you just get it all on there. This is the thumb, so I got a huge ball of gel. Gonna roll it right in the middle. It's so funny, Jessica's over there explaining what I'm saying over. She's over there explaining what I'm talking about to her client. Okay, there we go. Again, gonna pull this down. So there's a lot of gel on there because this is a thumb, so it's a lot more surface area. It will. If I don't turn the light on and off, it will definitely heat spike. It's a lot of gel. So you need to be in control of your light. It's better for you to be in control of your light than your clients. So if you have a new hybrid lamp, turn it on and off for them so they don't have to go in and out. If you don't have a hybrid lamp and they have to go in and out, you want them to come out of the light for a while before they stay in. So go ahead on in, and I'm gonna let it go on and turn off that fast, literally on and off. And I'm gonna, because that's all it has to do, and it's going to start the curing process. If I left it on even half a second longer, they might start feeling heat. So the goal is to let it start to cure, and then it's gonna slow down. So I'm gonna do it again, on, off, that's it. So if your clients are going in and out of the light, let them come out of the light and sit out of the light longer. It's still gonna cure, they don't have to feel it at all. But when you have a gel that's going from a liquid to a solid, it's gonna have the exothermic reaction. It's the properties, it's chemistry, it's how it happens. If there's gels out there that say, oh, ours doesn't get hot, it's because they want you to apply 15 layers of very thin gel. I could apply this gel very, very thin, 15 layers of it, and not have a heat spike on any layers. I don't have time for that. Off. So it's just a very quick on and off. And I'm going to continue to do that while I continue to apply product on the rest of her nails, and that way she doesn't feel anything. If you let it sit in there too long and let the light go too long, it's going to continue to get warm. So the only thing is that the thumb, if their thumb isn't in all the way, then you're going to end up with a little bit of extra gel to the side of the thumb. It's fine. It's how it is. I deal with it. I just file it later. On, off. So between each nail, I'm just flash curing, and that's going to allow the gel to continue to cure without getting hot. So it's about you controlling the speed of it. If your clients are going in and out, a lot of clients will go in because they're not feeling any heat, and they'll go in before they should. And so they might not feel it, but it also takes 3 seconds to feel it. So they come out of the light or they go in the light and they're staying in there, and then they wait until it gets hot, and then it gets hotter for 3 more seconds. Or if you ever had a client, I'm going to turn this on and off one more time. A little bit longer on that time, just to make sure. Did you feel any heat? We're good? Okay, so we're going to go ahead and let it stay on now. So this is a 1-minute cure. Granted, we have had it a little warm at your thumb. It's because it's the last one. We have had a little bit, just keep it out until it's cooled. Bye, Jared. Everyone say bye, Panda.
See you later.
So right now I am using an oval. This is the 108 brush. This is what I like to use to move around gel in this kind of a fashion. So normally if you see me do a fill or a 30-day manicure, I'm using a flat brush because I'm gliding gel over the surface of the nail. This is a different technique. I'm moving gel around and kind of playing with it a little bit differently, so I like the different shape of brush this way. So I do use a different brush for sculpting, but I don't do a lot of full sets, so this brush doesn't get a whole lot of use, but it occasionally gets some use. Alright, again, nice huge ball. Only doing this triangle, so I'm going up and then over to the sides, kind of where her pink and white would meet. If I was doing French, it would be the same way. If I wasn't doing, you know, coverage pink or something. Obviously coverage pink is a little bit different of a technique, but this is a different look. It's so funny, my clients, Jessica's clients over there explaining how this whole Facebook Live thing works. It's hilarious. Alright, so again, taking a look at the side, you guys see there's an arch in there already. If I didn't leave this triangle portion at the top, it would flatten and you would lose that arch. So that is my trick for getting that arch in there with gel, because you don't want to take all day. It's going to take me, you know, a little bit of time to file these into the shape I want, so I want to get the product on there so I can file. Okay, go on, off. Okay, this hand's cured. So now I'm going to go up. Let me clean my brush a little bit because I got all kinds of gel on that and I tend to hold it right there. All right. So now I'm going to go up here and I'm just going to fill in around the cuticle because this is the only place that needs it, right? It's the last place. You let the light turn on?
Yeah.
You can't move.
No, I was taking it out.
Okay. All right. She likes to be in control of her light.
Only sometimes.
Only sometimes. All right, so right now I'm just focusing on the area that I didn't do out. Thank you. Just flash it, just a second in and a second out if you want to go in and out, because I don't want it to get too hot on you. Okay, so see how I'm just filling in that area around the cuticle now. So it's a very quick second application, or the second step. So with acrylic, you know, you learn with the multiple ball method. This is basically my multiple balls. I do that one, oh, fuzz. I do that one, and then I will do this one. So doing around, filling in around the cuticle. I don't need to get super close because I've got color that's going on there. I've got that basically 1 week of growth around that. Do you guys see that? That's gonna allow me to smooth and taper that product around there really, really well. You don't need to get on the cuticle. You don't need that. That's not where your strength is needed. And this is for strength right now because we're building the extension. So when I go to apply her color and everything, that's all gonna be back there. You don't need a ton of product back there. You just want it to taper well. So leave that 1 week of growth, you see that? Around the cuticle. You don't need that covered in gel. So again, around the corners here. This is almost the way that I do a fill, you guys, is just around that cuticle area and in the light. And you can check it. Like I was looking at this for a second, I thought, oh, that might need a little bit more. And you can add anything else. If I'm going to add anything, it's going to be on this step, because after this is cured, I'm filing. This is it. So if I need to add any more anywhere, I want to do it now. Maybe like a higher arch for her nails because they're a little bit long, and her nails tend to curl down. So her fills get a little bit different each time just because her nails hook. Do you guys have clients whose nails hook? Hers hook. So you really have to, her full sets are great because you can make her, you know, the correct shape. But then after that, you really have to kind of play with her natural nail shape. See, I let that go a little bit long, but that's fine. I'm going to hit that with my e-file when I start filing, and that's going to disappear in 2 seconds. So no big deal. Just means that I'm going to double check and make sure I have enough arch elsewhere before I finish this one. Okay, so looking at this, it's too flat right here. Do you guys see that? That looks great if you're doing a certain kind of shape nail, but for the shape nail we got going on for this client, too flat. So I'm just going to add a little bit extra here because I want to get it in there before we continue. And it's not going to move as much because there's not a full, the whole nail is not covered. Whereas this one, this bit moved over here because the whole nail was covered, and now it's not. So it's not going to continue to move over here because that's not wet gel. Okay. Again, oops, I just got some on her skin. I'll get that off before we go any further. I don't like to get any on there. I don't like to file it off. So again, I'm using the 108 brush. This is an oval brush. It's also just $8.95. Accents brushes are not too expensive, which is awesome. And I'm just filling in around the sides here to finish her extension layer. If you're just tuning in, we've just layered the gold leaf underneath her gel so that it can stay as we change out her color at her fills over the next few appointments. So she'll get to have kind of that peekaboo effect underneath her nails of that gold. And that was just layered on a very thin layer of natural, and then I'm finishing up with her, the rest of her build so that we can finish her nails. Going around the cuticle, leaving that little bit of a gap. You don't need the strength all the way back at the cuticle. Leave about a 1 week grow out gap so that you can get your file around there and taper it nicely. It's just going to make it a lot easier than having to push the cuticle up and possibly cutting them because it's getting there. I put too much down there too. That's why I love my e-file, because I'm going to hit my e-file around the edges first before I finish shaping everything by hand. She's in charge of her lamp. Okay, and the thumb. We're just gonna put this around the edges here. I just want to fill in that gap and blend it over, and then check for any arch that I need. I need a little bit more right in the center because I like a higher arch on her. She is one of those, she braids with her nails. No, they are synthetic. We do have some Kolinsky brushes. These ones are synthetic. So, you can get the Kolinsky ones, and they say Kolinsky when you go to order them, but these ones that are just $8.95, they're just synthetic. And they work great. Alright. Add on in. Okay guys, that is it. I'm just going to start the filing process on her, get her nails shaped, and then we may come back for the stamping and design. But this is her Peekaboo, so this will be fun when we're all done. She'll have this foil underneath her nails. Thanks guys, see you later.